I have reached a point where my belief in God's presence and intervention in my life has been deeply eroded not through denial, but through exhaustion. Even the act of mentally surrendering my affairs to God is accompanied by fear, as though such surrender risks another disappointment. To entrust one's life, hopes, and suffering to a higher power is traditionally meant to bring peace. Yet for me, it has become an act burdened with anxiety, because experience has taught me to expect no change in return. My faith has not collapsed in a dramatic rejection of God, but in a quiet loss of confidence in divine effectiveness. I do not deny God's existence. Rather, I doubt the relevance of that existence to my lived reality. God appears present in concept, but absent in consequence. The language of faith remains intact. While its practical power has faded, this state resembles giving meat to a cat for safekeeping, an act that outwardly suggests trust, while inwardly acknowledging the futility of that trust. The gesture is performed, but belief in its outcome is already void. In this way, faith becomes hollowed out from within, not abandoned, but stripped of expectation. What emerges here is not disbelief, but estrangement. The problem is no longer whether God exists, but whether God acts and whether such action bears any relation to my life. God seems either powerless in the face of my reality or powerful yet indifferent. In both cases, surrender loses its meaning, and hope becomes an emotional risk rather than a spiritual refuge. This condition marks a deeply existential fracture, the space between belief and experience, where trust cannot survive without evidence, and surrender feels less like devotion and more like self-deception. Faith, once a source of grounding, now hovers in uncertainty present, but unable to sustain the weight placed upon it.